Hello friends, welcome or welcome back to my channel. I'm Cody from Cody's Crochet and welcome to this market prep vlog. I'm super excited. It is the weekend before my first market out of 3 market weekends. And May is gonna be busy for sure. So we have 1 full weekend to prep. And maybe some days in between the week when I'm working, so like after work. And yeah. So, I am currently in my room because I did just finish editing and scheduling the Big B tutorial, which will be up by the time you see this. So, if you want to make some bees, go check them out. I already have the small and medium-sized bee keychains as a tutorial up on my YouTube channel if you want smaller options. And some more tutorials on there if you like. But today is all about prep, hopefully. It is a little late. It is 4:36. Because editing took a while, so yeah, and I had some trouble with uploading and stuff, so there's that. But let's switch rooms and get crafting. Let's go. We have made it to the craft room and I might have bought some yarn this week, just maybe, but I spontaneously went into the store that sells my chenille yarn. And they did have new colors. They sometimes do, like without warning, just add a few colors. But they have this gorgeous deep dark red now. It's giving cherry. It does look a little bit different in real life than on the camera, obviously. But it's super pretty. And it's giving cherry mushroom kind of vibes. And then, which I'm more excited about actually, is this gorgeous brown. And this just screams Highland cow to me. And I'm super excited to use it. I will totally make one of those. I have made one of these guys before, but in the Look Fine yarn. And I didn't quite like how it turned out. I mean, the color I used was perfect, but my stitches were a little bit too loose and it actually lost an eye. And then I pulled out the second one and just sewed on the eyes. Yeah. But this paired with the other browns they have would make the most adorable little Highland cow. So we might get to that on this weekend. Who knows? But yeah. Again, this is Chenille Love by Rico Design. Wait, the light is really... Yeah. There we go. Chenille Love by Rico Design. And then I actually bought some cotton. These two blues just go so perfectly together, and I thought I might either make another ripple bucket hat by Chloe Met Crochet. I was a pattern tester and I really liked it, and these two colors would look super good. Or I could make the kelp bucket hat from Passionate Kelsey, or another bucket hat pattern, or something entirely different. So we'll see. Maybe I can make another type of wearable, like a bandana or a shirt, but I think this wouldn't be enough for a shirt. But regardless, these two blues are super, super cute. And if you're wondering what happened to my hand, it's nothing serious. I just put on some medical cream because it was hurting. It still is. And I'm hoping it'll go away because I do not need wrist pain right now in my most busy season of the year. Yeah. I noticed it at work because I am in the labor industry and use my wrists a lot there too. So they are under a lot of stress. But hopefully this isn't like carpal tunnel or something. Yeah. If it gets worse, I will go to a doctor. But if it's not getting worse, then maybe not. Regardless, this is about crocheting. So let's pick a project and get prepping. I have found my first project, and that would be these plush octopi that I have. I also have them as keychains, but they're in regular like acrylic yarn mostly. And I do have plush versions without a keychain. And I currently have 3. I have a dark pink one, I have a light pink one, and a light blue one. So I'd just like to make some variety in the colors. So I thought I would just use the mint color and the yellow color that I have. Both are like a pastel vibe, to just throw in a little bit more color there. I could also make a white one, which I might, but let's start with these two colors. The pattern is by KP Crochet Creations on Instagram. It was a free pattern from a post they made years ago at this point. But it's a really cool pattern. It works up super quickly, very beginner friendly, and I like it a lot, especially for market prepping, since there's no as Sweden, 0. So let's get started on the pattern and quickly work up these two octopi. Complete. The yellow looks very cute. I like it a lot. I will just go ahead and make a green one, and then we can tag both of these, put them in the inventory, and then pick our next project. It is currently 5:26. To be fair, I got stuck on social media again, but okay, these do not take an hour, but here we go. And our green octopi is complete. Super cute. I like the color a lot. And next to the yellow, very cute. It's giving spring, and I love that. So there's that. Let's go ahead and tag these guys, and then we can put them in the inventory, and maybe at some point I will make a white version of this and then add it, but not right now. So tagging and then choosing our next project. It is currently 5:42, so this took like 20 minutes. So both octopi are tagged, and now what I would like to do is just a little restock, since on my market I did on the 4th of April, yeah, 4/4, I sold both of the red heart bookmarks that I had. If you want to make your own, I do have a YouTube tutorial for that as well, but I sold 2 red ones out of 2. I did have other colors, but the red ones just were the first ones to go and the only ones to go, so I would just like to restock that because red hearts seem to be good, I guess. Especially since the second market that I have in May is a Mother's Day market, and I think heart bookmarks would be perfect for those. So let's just restock 1 or 2 of the heart bookmarks, and then maybe make some flower bookmarks or some sunflower keychains, because I had 3 of those and I sold all 3 at my last market. So maybe a little restock of that as well, but let's start with the heart bookmarks. I just finished both of these red heart bookmarks. Super cute. I don't tag these. I usually do not tag my bookmarks at all because they are all the same price. So there's that. And I just put them all in one place and then just put up a sign how much they cost, and then that's it. So let's just put them in the inventory and then in the basket behind me, and then we can pick our next project. Maybe another bookmark, maybe sunflowers, we'll see. Since I sold a sunflower bookmark and a pink purplish colored bookmark, I would like to restock those I think I do have a few more of the sunflower ones, but I don't have any more of the magenta flower ones. So I'll just make one of each of those. Maybe 2 magenta ones. We'll see. But yeah, let's make some floral bookmarks. This is also my pattern, but I just kind of put together multiple patterns that I found in tutorials. So it is kind of my pattern, but I took inspiration from multiple other creators. But I sadly do not know who it was anymore because this was a year ago, maybe 2. But again, took a lot of inspiration, but technically my pattern. As you saw, I just finished both of the flower bookmarks. It is around 7 p.m. now, so I will head down to dinner and then we can continue afterward. I'm back. As you can tell, it's a bit later now. It is currently 8:40 p.m. A bit later, sure. And I want to go to bed early today because I am dead tired. So I will make a few more smiley keychains. If you want to make them, you can watch my video or tutorial on my YouTube channel. I have one for those. We also made a few in our last prep vlog, the not so many vlog that I posted on Wednesday, which took a bit of nerves to edit, but there we are. But I would like to have some more smiley keychains because I don't have that many. I have currently only 6. And I would like to have a few more because they did sell well at my last market. And they're just a small item and smileys are like universal. And yeah, I think they will sell well this season. So I will make 1 or 2 more of those and then I will probably call it a night. Because again, I'm dead tired. So let's make 1 or 2 smileys and then be done for today. And both of these are done. They are very cute. Like them a lot, especially with the slightly variegated yarn. These yarns all have a little bit of white running through them, and I think that just makes them a little bit more interesting as if they were solid. I will just put them in the inventory. I don't tag these because they're so small. And I just usually put up a sign, like a chalk sign, that says the price when I'm at the market, so there's that. I'll put this in the basket behind me after putting it in the inventory, and then I will go to bed. So I will see you tomorrow. See you then. Hello friends, it's Saturday now, and I'm excited. I really want to get a lot done today, hopefully. And yeah, let's get straight into it. I want to start today with making what I talked about yesterday, the Highland cow. With this yarn here, this is the color Nougat. It says 28 on the label as color, but online it is called Nougat. And I would love to pair this with either the light brown for like the hoofs and stuff, or this darker muted brown, but I think I like the light version better. Yeah, that's better. I like that better. Good. Okay, so we'll use these two, and if there's any pink portions in the pattern that I'm using, I don't know which one yet, then I will use the light pink in this yarn. So we have our colors right here. So let's pick out a pattern and then get started. I found a pattern. It is by 1 Cent Crochet on YouTube. I really like the tutorials. They're very beginner friendly, and it's just always such a cute plushie that comes out at the end. So if you want to make your own, go check her channel. She has many different tutorials. But today we'll be making her Highland cow one. So let's get started. And the body is complete. It basically started with both feet and it was worked up. It was pretty quick. And I really like the color choice that I made because I think the dark brown would have been too dark. So I like the light one better for sure. But yeah, I'm also filming some content on TikTok about this for another week. So there's that. Let's continue with the arms and the head, and then we're already done. And our body is complete. He looks very cute. I like him a lot. This pattern worked up super quickly and I love him. The hair is also crocheted into the head, so you don't have to sew on the pieces. I mean, you could, but I'm glad I didn't have to. The only thing you have to sew are the facial details and like the horns and ears, and if you wanted you could crochet the arms into the body. I sewed them on at the end, but you could also crochet them into the body so they're holding better, but personal choice, I guess. I'm gonna go ahead and tag this and put it in the inventory, and then we can decide on our next project. I will probably make a turtle next, because I need to make one, at least one. And before we do that, I will eat lunch, but then we will definitely do, and I will pick out the colors now, so that I don't have to do it later and have an excuse. So, I like making the turtles, but the sewing part always annoys me, but it should be fine. So, let's pick out some colors for the turtles. And I have to check first what colors the other turtle is in, because I don't remember, but it might be pink, like a light and dark pink, so maybe we can just make like green and brown one, so like a regular turtle, but let me check. Yeah, okay, so I was right, the one we have left is the double pink, so a light pink body and with like dark pink accents, so like the shell, and I think around the fins I also added a little bit dark pink. So I will just pick out the dark brown and the mint green that we have in the chenille of yarn, and then we can make a natural looking turtle, and maybe if we're quick enough we can make another one in a different color combo. But for now, let's stay with the brown and green one. But first, lunch. And I'm back. I've had lunch and it is now 3:47 p.m. We will start on the turtle now. This pattern is by Crochet by Genna. It's a tutorial, but she also sells them on her Etsy, I believe. So like generally most of her or all of her patterns. I will be using this color combo, the shell in brown and the body in mint. I'm not quite sure if the mint color is enough. I'm gonna be honest with you. And I'm not quite sure if I have more, so let me check, and if not, then we'll still make the turtle, but we might run out. So let me check. So we do not have any more. That was to be expected. But if we do run out, then I will finish it under the week and get new yarn before that. But we will try and see if it is enough. So let's go ahead and get started. As you can tell, I sewed on everything except for the head because you do that from the outside. I will just now close up the body and stuff it before, obviously, and then sew on the head, and then we're pretty much done. So let's finish this guy up, and it is currently 5:11 p.m. And our cute little turtle is complete. Super adorable. I always struggle a little bit when sewing on the head, honestly, but I think it turned out okay. It's slightly putting downward to this side, but I think that's okay. It's cute. I like him. So we can go ahead and tag him and put him in the inventory. It is currently 5:20 p.m. So we still have a pretty good amount of time to start something else. Don't know what that will be though, but we'll see. So our turtle is in the basket back there, and I would like to make some axolotls because I sold 2 and I currently have 1 or 2 left. So let's just restock those. What I have sold is a blue and green one, so we can use up the rest of this green for the tail frill and the like gills, and then use this blue for the body. And we could try pairing these two together, so like white for the body and yellow for the details, and maybe make another color combo. These axolotls are super quick. The pattern is also from Crochet by Genna, and it is a no-sew pattern. All you have to do is weave it like 3 ends and that's it. So let's go ahead and make 2 of those. And he's complete. I like using this blue and green together because they just kind of fit. And it's giving very much ocean vibes. But yeah, here we are. I would have also liked to reverse the colors, but I wouldn't have had enough of the green for sure. So this is what we currently have. This is definitely not enough, but there we are. I will go ahead and tag this and put it in the inventory, and then we can start the other one. It is currently about 6 p.m. So let's make another one and maybe make some more stuff. And another one one complete. I really like the white and yellow combo. It's very summery, very light colored, and I like it a lot. It's giving Daisy. I like that. Let's go ahead and tag it. It is currently 6:30 p.m. So we do have about half an hour before dinner. So maybe we can find a quick project to work up in that half hour. So I actually didn't start a project, but I did edit some content on TikTok and Instagram, which is good. But it is 7 p.m. now, so I will see you after dinner. Dinner was had, and we are now back in my regular room because my wrist hurts and I don't want to stress it too much. But what I thought we could do is utilize these guys over here. I have a bunch of these from work, and these are just regular cardboard squares, and I thought we could use them as sort of a packaging for my crochet bookmarks that we made yesterday, for example. And that's because I feel like most people don't notice them as much because they are very flimsy and thin. So I thought we could do some sort of packaging with these. So I would cut these in half with my paper cutting machine. Well, machine, it's manual, but you know what I mean. And just decorate these in a way that would look pretty and maybe match the bookmark a little bit. And then do a latch where the bookmark can go through. And that way maybe it's a little bit more noticeable and also cooler, question mark. But let's try this, and if it doesn't work then I will find another use for these, but for now let's try it out. I got all of our bookmarks that we made yesterday, and I will just look and see how I will put them on the cardboard, because either I could do it just like this, but in this way they are bigger than the cardboard, so it will like stick out and I don't want that. So what I will probably do is fold them over like this, and with the flowers it would work pretty well because then the leaf and the flower are next to each other, and in this way you can see more, and then this would just like dangle down here. And maybe that is a good option in how to present them, so let me try that. But for now I will just take these cardboard squares and half them with my paper cutter, and then we can start gluing stuff on it. Because I do, or did for a long time, bullet journal, so I do still have a lot of this stuff that I used, so like decorative paper and stuff like that. I still do kind of bullet journal, but it's more like a to-do list for every day because I don't have the time to bullet journal right now. So yeah, let's get out some materials. But before that, let's half these squares. As you can tell, I have multiple of these decorative blocks with like a ton of different designs in there. Oh, yep. Yeah, I ripped some of them out to like make spreads and stuff like that. But hopefully we can find some stuff that matches our bookmarks. I do kind of have a bit of red here, so these designs maybe for the red hot bookmarks, and then for like the other stuff we could use generally these, because this is like a floral one. Here we also have some plant-based ones, and these here are just patterns but not very floral. Some of these do have flowers but in a different way, so there's that. I will for now get white paper to have as a base, and then either do like rectangular cut pieces that I will glue on, or like the one that just fell out of the one block, I will rip them and just like glue them in different spots, places. We'll see how that looks, but for now let's get some white paper in here. Here we have our first two sheets of white paper that I cut to the size that we need for these. So I'll just glue these on, and then we'll see how I will put on the decorative paper, if I do rip it or cut it. And then we need to figure out how I want the latch to work. So let's try that out. Here we have our first latches. As you saw, they work perfectly, and I like that a lot. I will now see if I can find any matching decorative pieces of that so that we can give these a little bit more personality, because they do look very bland. And maybe I will write on the price, or like what it is, so like Bookmark or something. I'm not quite sure how I want to do this. Whoops. But yeah, let me look through the blocks I have, and then we can pick out some designs. So for now, I found these two blocks that have some cute designs in them. So for this one, we could do for sunflowers like this, maybe. Or it does have one or two other ones that would fit like color-wise. And then in this one, we have multiple flower versions, since this is a floral block. So we can choose multiple different ones. And generally for the hearts, we could also pick like one of these roses in the pinks, because they would fit pretty cute, and they could definitely work for Mother's Day, since I do have a Mother's Day market on the 10th of May, which is a Sunday, I think. Yeah, it's a Sunday. And yeah, so let's start with the flower bookmarks. Maybe we can pick something out that matches this magenta purplish tone. But yeah, here we are. Morning friends, today is Sunday and I might have forgot to do the outro last night, but I was very tired and I didn't really do anything else, so there's that. Today I did this. I filled up these canisters with stones from my dad's place, and that is for weight. I currently have 10 weights, but they are only 1.5 liter bottles, and the things I filled up today, those canisters, were 5 liters. So they are a lot heavier. So I'm hoping that this will just give me a bit more security in terms of securing my tent down when it's windy. I mean, I'm of course hoping that it's not gonna be a windy summer, but you never know. So taking a precaution. What I did right now was write down the price of these bookmarks onto the latches so that you can directly see it, and I maybe don't even have to put up a sign anymore. So there's that. I definitely need to make one more for our bookmark here, and I also have multiple other bookmarks that I would need to make these things for. So either today or like someone else because today I do have some stuff going on. So I have a family meetup at 3 p.m. and before that we need to cut my hair and all of that, so I don't have that much time. It is currently 11:11 a.m. So we do have, I don't know, 2 hours, 3 hours to do some stuff before I have to go do something else. But I would like to start with making at least one more of the backings for bookmarks, and then we can maybe get some more crocheting done. We'll see. And here we are back in the craft room, and right now I would like actually to come back to this guy, because I thought about it and his snout looks a little plain, so I would just like to add some like details for the nose, so just like 2 lines to signal like nose holes, but I think it will look better. So let's go ahead and do that, and then after that I think I would like to make some of my fruit slice keychains that I also have a tutorial for if you want to make one too. And the pattern should also be coming out on Ravelry at some point. It'll be in a 4-in-1 pattern like the tutorial. But yeah, let's start with this guy and then work on some keychains. Okay, so right now I will start with kiwi keychains because I only have one, and that's the one I made for the tutorial. So there's that. If you're interested, by the way, the Highland cow took about half of the nougat color, so like the medium colored brown that we used, and it only took a little bit of the lighter version. So if you want to make one too, it used about half of the skein, so you could probably make 2 if you want it with 1 skein. But for now, let's make 1 or 2 kiwis. One haircut later. I was interrupted while weaving in the end on the first one we made. I still have to sew in the seeds, but then we're done. I think I want to make a few more of these because I do have multiple of the other ones. At least the lemon and the orange. I think watermelon I also have one left only. But let's make a few of each so that we have maybe like 4 to 5 of each. That would be good if we can get that done today. It is currently 12:50 p.m. So let's see how many we can make before we have to leave. And here we have our finished kiwi slices. I made 3 of them, so now we have 4. I will now continue with the watermelon slices because the lemon and orange slices I have multiple. So oranges I have 3 and lemon slices I have 7 apparently. So let's just restock the watermelons and maybe make 1 more orange slice and then we're done with those. We have all 3 of the watermelon keychains finished. Very cute, very summery. I will put them in the inventory and then I will make at least 1 of my orange slices to have 4 of them as well. And then we'll see. It is currently 1:40 p.m. Okay, so everything is updated as far as inventory goes. We now have at least 4 of each, except for the lemons we have 7, I think, or 8. So that should be good for at least 1 market. But right now it is 1:55 p.m. and I do want to have lunch now, so I will do that. And then we'll see if we have enough time to make something else, but probably not. but I will see you later for now. Okay, so I'm back. The function ended just now and we are prepping for dinner, so it is currently nearly 7 p.m. So I will not do anything else today in terms of crocheting or prepping for a set market. I will probably start editing this video, since it's a little more work because I have to record the audio separately on my phone, because this does not allow me to add a microphone from the outside, so an external microphone. It doesn't have a plug for that, and the audio inside the camera, the microphone, it sucks. So I am recording the audio separately, which means I have to match it up for every clip that I'm talking. So there's that. But thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this vlog. Maybe you were prepping with me. And I'm really excited for the market season. It's coming up in May. So thanks again, and I will see you next Saturday. Bye-bye.